So come to your mat and let's sit. So take a comfortable sit. Find your sit bones somewhere. And take a moment. Just settle. Make sure you pop yourself on mute. And just close your eyes. And notice how you're breathing. So notice where you are breathing into, what bits of your body move when you breathe. Where were you naturally breathing a moment ago? Are you breathing through your nose or your mouth or a combination of both? Is your breath quite fast, or are you even at the thought of doing some yoga, taking some nice relaxed breaths? So just mentally pop whatever is buzzing around in your head and what you've been busy with and what you have to do for the rest of the day, what happened yesterday, what you've got going on tomorrow. Just wrap it all up, pop it in a bag, box, suitcase, whatever it is that comes to mind. And then just place it outside the door. So you're not going to forget anything. It's all going to be there when you've finished. But for the moment, the only important thing right now is you, is your body, your breath, your mind, and your spirit. And what we're doing is just gently moving the body to make space in the body. We're going to unstick any little bits that don't get much movement. And we're going to make space to bring everything back into one place. So mind, body, spirit, all in one place. Just gently being, not striving, not aiming to get anywhere particularly, just being in the moment. So let's change our breath now. Breathe in through your nostrils and out through your mouth. And try and make the breath long and slow. So let's breathe in together. And out. And in. Really fill up. And out. And as you breathe out, try and get rid of every last little bit of breath. Imagine that you've just got up and there's some old bits of breath in your lungs from yesterday. Let's see if we can empty them out completely. Just get them completely empty. So you create this beautiful vacuum and you need to take in a great big breath. Remember, in through the nostrils and out through the mouth. And as you take the next 3 breaths, try and slow it down a little more and slow down your out breath so it's longer than your in breath. You can count your breath in. So maybe depending on how fast you're counting, that's counting in for 4 and out for 6. Doesn't matter what the numbers are, just make the out breath longer, slower than the in breath. And as you're doing that, also take your attention around your body and just check in. Which bits are feeling great today? Which bits are feeling like they need a little bit of TLC? Which parts of you are still holding on to something or other? Some thought, some action that you have to do or you feel is pressing on you somehow. Just let it go. If you've got some tension in your shoulders, your jaw, your back, your hips, maybe you know exactly where you tend to scrunch up your muscles. If so, take your attention there, allow them to relax, and then do a scan around the rest of your body and see if there's some little secondary areas going on. Lift up nice and tall. So a really solid foundation of your legs and your pelvis, and then stacking, taking your attention all the way up your spine and making space, still breathing, still taking those nice deep breaths, making space between each vertebra. So moving your attention up your spine. When you get to your rib cage, allow your shoulders to come back a little, send your heart center forward. Imagine that you're making as much space between each rib as possible as well, to allow that expansion in your lungs, elongating the sides of your body, but at the same time, still relaxing your shoulders, relaxing your jaw, lifting without scrunching anything up. What's happening with your legs and your thighs, knees? Are you able to release there and let go of any tension at the same time, keeping that lovely length in the spine that you've got? Lift up through the crown of your head as well. Shoulder blades gently moving just a couple of millimeters towards each other. So one last lovely deep breath here. Well done. So just gently open your eyes. Keep your gaze low. So let's dip the chin slightly towards the chest. Take your hands together. And let's rub the palms of the hands together. Rub them together until you feel like you're getting some serious heat there. Nice hot palms. Sometimes it's easier if you just rub the palms together, not the fingers. Rub, 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 rub. Get some energy going. And then just cup them over your eyes. Open your eyes into that space. Well, maybe they were open anyway, but hey. And then just open your eyes really wide, wide as you possibly can. Press palms of your hands just into the bony kind of circle around your eyes. Socket, eye socket. Gently press. And while you're here, just take a nice deep breath again. As you exhale, bring your hands back down, and then we're going to start to move a little. So let's take the legs out in Dandasana or staff pose. Staff as in nice sturdy piece of wood, not somebody working for you. And bringing the toes back towards your face, pressing the backs of your legs gently into the floor, into your mat. And again, feel those sit bones, sit up nice and tall. Just check if you are level. So one shoulder might be doing a little bit of a hike upwards. Try and feel that you are balanced. And sometimes that's just much easier if you have a bit of a wiggle around and see where you might be sending one shoulder up and one shoulder down. Is your head level? So lifting up, I want you to feel as though you are really employing those muscles now. They're woken up and they're working, that corset muscles all the way around your midriff. So lifting up and toes still pulling in towards the face. We're going to inhale the arms up. Stick your hands out to the sides. On an inhale, just nice and slow to match your breath. Bring them up. Close your ears as you exhale, fold forwards. Okay, not a big fold. Just allow your arms to come down onto your legs. Try and keep a little bit of straight in that back. So not really rounding too much right now. We're trying to get the belly button towards the thighs. Don't worry about your chest. So we're still lifting up and we're pushing the belly button forward. You might feel that in your hips. You might feel that in the crease of your leg, where you are connecting the leg to torso. And you might feel it in your lower back. We're all different. We've all got different stuff going on. And some of us, like me, haven't really been up that long or done very much. So stiff as a board. So let's just keep stretching forward, and we'll circle back to this right at the end and we'll see how we have opened things up. Hopefully we'll notice a change. So as you inhale, allow yourself to come away a little And as you exhale, fold forward a little more. Use your hands if you want to, and your arms to just gently pull yourself forward. But be careful if you've got lower back issues. We can get a bit carried away in this asana, and then later on be thinking, what have I done? So nice and gentle. And then allow yourself to come back up. Bring your feet in towards your body. So Baddha Konasana, bound angle pose. Ankles moving in towards your groin, knees going out towards the mat. Use your hands and arms if you want to pull your feet in towards you, to push down on your knees gently. We're looking for a nice stretch in the groin, opening up. And the pelvis still lifting, the shoulders up, spine up, crown of the head moving up as well. So we're not rounding in this posture, but we are going to fold forward like we just did in Paschimottanasana. So breathe in. And as you breathe out, fold forward. So not a huge movement. Notice where you're feeling that, if at all. And let's keep it dynamic. So as you breathe, allow yourself to move backwards and forwards. So breathing in to come back, breathing out to move forward. Let's go back to doing those nice slow breaths again. And let's do 2 more together. So breathing in and out at your own pace. Out to fold forward. Again, we're not rounding the back here. Keep the head up. So it's like you're sending your chin forwards. Not taking the chin to chest. And come back up again. Okay, so that's our 2 breaths. And now we're going to do the same thing, but we are going to round. So let's round the spine. Bring chin to chest first. Let's stay here for a moment. Notice what's happening in the back of the neck. How are your shoulders? Are they creeping anywhere? Take them down. And chin tight into chest as much as you possibly can. Acknowledging any stretch or feelings in the back of the neck, in the upper back. Maybe you can take that all the way down into the mid-back with that stretch. And at this point, can you move your heels in towards your groin any further? Will your knees pop out down to the mat a little further? As we've been moving the torso, the legs have been here the whole time. So hopefully those muscles have just given you a little bit of extra give as they've relaxed into the posture. So chin to chest, and now we're going to roll down. So this time it's as if you're taking the crown of your head down towards your big toes. And again, use your breath. So allow yourself to come up a bit as you breathe in and fold forward as you breathe out. Don't worry about your range of movement here. It's early. We probably haven't been moving much. You may have been doing lots of exercise recently, in which case, even if you've been being really diligent about your warming up and your cooling down and your stretching, your muscles are in strong and tight mode perhaps. So give yourself lots of time and space to find the full range of movement. One more breath, folding forward when you're ready. Well done. Be very gentle and patient with yourself. Coming back up. And I think it's time to come up to standing, and let's do some balance posture. So let's go via a squat. Take your feet flat to the mat. Come up into a squat. And you might be flat foot squat, or you might be on your toes squat. There's no good, bad, they're just different. So allow yourself to come between your thighs. Use your hands on the floor if you need to for balance. And of course, everything around you is a prop. So use what you have if you need to. It's about trying to find your comfort in each posture. And sometimes props really help with that. And we've all got different proportions. So what's very easy for somebody is just maybe not so easy for somebody else. So be lovely to yourself and be really happy with what we can do today. So toes slightly out, heels slightly in, arms inside your legs, and use your arms to push back against your knees and thighs. So opening up in the groin and pelvis again, but in just a slightly different way. So we're really giving those hips a good stretch. So many muscles in there. And if you're a runner or if you sit a lot of those muscles just switch off because there are quite a few. Your psoas muscles in a nice bundle, all doing different bits and different things for us. Some of those little ones don't do much if we don't use them. So just a bit of a stretch here. Okay, so bring yourself over to the right. Take your weight into your right leg. We're going to take the left foot out. And bring your hips down towards the ground. Slide that foot away. So we are trying to bring the right foot flat to the floor, left foot extended, arms out in front of you. Or if you want, you can hold on to that right knee. I said we were moving up, didn't I? We haven't actually got very much further off the floor, but we're getting there. Don't worry. We're just really giving the hips a bit of a stretch before we get going. And then let's shift, bring that foot in again and take the right leg out to the side. Slide it away. And think about where there's any resistance, where there's any feelings of tightness. And just take your breath to that space, that place. Try and relax your toes on your extended foot. Relax all the other muscles. Are you holding on to anything in your shoulders, in your belly? Try and let go. And then let's bring that leg back in. Take the feet very wide. We're going to come up into Goddess pose. Before that, we'll come into Malasana. So feet are wide. Take your arms forward. Fold them around. Just wrap them around. If you can, tuck your fingers in between your body and your thighs. Otherwise, they just come around. Hold on to your ankles, wherever works. Malasana or Garland pose. And we're going to come up into Goddess. So bring your arms back forward. Take yourself upright. And if it works for you, just come up from here. If that is a bit strong, then come up. And then we'll go back down. Okay, whatever is good for you. Take your feet out so that your ankles are below your knees. There's a real temptation here to fold forward. So send your hips forward and your shoulders back. Not so that you're leaning back, but just so that you are in line. Arms up, fingers pointing up towards the ceiling. And arms really strong here. So engage those biceps, get your back working. Lift your chest so that the front of your body is long. And can you go a little lower? How are you going, Joe? You all right? That's it. Great. Can you go a little lower? What's happening there? How are your thighs doing? Don't forget to breathe. Elbows back a little. Chin lifted. And that's 5, 4, 3, 2. Don't forget you're a goddess in this pose. A very powerful one. And 1. Bring yourself back up. Bring your arms down. Walk your legs in. Let's come into tree pose. Let's go straight into a bit of balance. So weight down into your left foot. Right foot comes up so that your heel presses in. Now, the wonderful thing about this variation of Vrikshasana or tree pose is that that is the spleen point on your body. So if you are fighting a battle internally with some bugs, or you're feeling run down and you're worried that you're vulnerable, this is a great point as an acupressure point to press, because it is gently stimulating to your spleen. So spleen point, press in with that heel as hard as you can and bring your hips forward. Tuck your tailbone under just a little and really open up that knee towards the side. So should feel quite a lot going on just in the back here. Up tall in your torso and shoulders relaxed. Don't forget to breathe and smile. And we're going to just slide that foot up. So sole of the foot comes up. So just below the knee, not against the knee, just below the knee. So now we're just on one foot, so a little bit more balance. And the third variation that we're going to do is to bring the heel up into the groin. And you can choose between any one of these three. They are all just as fabulous. If you are happy to take your heel up into groin, then really tighten all the muscles in that standing leg. So just now let them go, just stand there, and then squeeze the muscles in your thigh. And that allows you a really firm surface to press the sole of your right foot in, so you have a wonderful connection there. Keep those muscles really squeezing on your standing leg. And always moving this knee out to the side. You can use your hand if you want to gently push back. And then hands. What are we doing with hands, arms, whatever you want. Sometimes starting off with them on hips is good to make sure that you are not tilting your pelvis out of line. And then we can take them out to the sides. What kind of tree are you today? Take them up above, nice tall tree. And if you're up above, you can bring your hands together. Don't know what kind of tree that is. Round tree, ovally kind of tree. Try and keep nice space between your arms and your ears, lifting up through the crown of your head. Don't forget that pelvis, tucking the tailbone slightly under, squeeze the glutes on your standing leg. Breathe, focus on one steady point in front of you. That is your drishti point, or your gaze point. Each asana has its own specific drishti point. If you're having a tricky balance day, sometimes when you're a little bit under the weather, your balance goes, you can take the tip of your tongue to the roof of your mouth and press just behind your top row of teeth, but not on your teeth. Well done. So whichever variation you chose, let's gently come out. So coming out with the arms, and then release your leg. Let's take the weight straight over into the right foot without shifting your balance or your body or your hips too far over to the right. So let's try and keep pretty much in line, but obviously we'll shift a little as we take the weight into that standing leg. And we'll do exactly the same on this side as we did on the other. Very important in yoga, in all exercise probably, to do on one side what you did on the other. So pressing into that spleen point and lifting up. This is our starting off. So we're going to set up our posture and our alignment as beautifully as possible. And again, you can take your hands to hips if it helps. Breathe. Think about your immune system, all the work it does constantly. Most of the time we don't even know what's trying to make a little home in us. Our immune system dispatches everything before we even know about it. So let's just slide that foot up now, starting off our balance on one leg. And if you are going to do high, I don't know what you'd call this, version 3, high tree. So don't forget to squeeze the muscles in that standing leg. Don't allow your bum to stick out, so bring that under you a little, tailbone tucking under. Lift your kneecap. So that should happen anyway as you squeeze the muscles in the standing leg. Bring your belly button gently towards your spine. And then let's play with the arms. What kind of tree were you on the other side? Be the same kind of tree on this side. And just notice if balancing on one side is easier than the other today. And it's just about making space in the body, making space for yourself, and just noticing as well what's going on. And then practicing doing that noticing without any judgment. So accepting that nothing is good or bad, it just is. And it's much easier to work with what you've got when you know what you're working with. Try and slow the breath down. Are you clinging onto the mat with your toes? Try and relax the sole of your foot a little. And let's inhale to come out. With the arms and the neck. Well done. Inhale up. Exhale, fold right forward. Send your fingertips forward as far as you can. Send your bottom out behind you and fold. Easy forward bend. Let's just tuck the arms around each other. Relax your head, relax your neck. And let the weight of your arms and your head just gently pull you forward. Lift your kneecaps up towards your hips gently. And that's it for our rest in Uttanasana. We're going to come into Utkatasana. So sending your hands forward. On an inhale, take your hips back and down. Come into chair pose, Utkatasana. And then sideways, even though I know you know what chair pose is. So let's try and keep the back straight. So don't send your bottom out and curl your back. Let's send the hips. So the bum goes out, but your lower back goes with it. And sit back down as far as you can. Belly in towards the spine, head lifting up, looking forward. Don't forget to breathe. Arms are strong here. Squeeze the muscles in your arms. Have the hand on each arm, absolutely rigid. And 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Folding forward again, walking the hands forward. Come into downward facing dog, Ardha Mukha Shavasana. Send your hips up high, heels heading down towards the mat or pushing down into the mat. So stretching out the backs of your Achilles. Lift your kneecaps up again. Belly button in towards your spine.
And send your sit bones up towards the ceiling. So lengthening through the backs of the legs. Shoulders are wide. Make space between your upper arms and your head and neck. Doing absolutely nothing here. Having a nice rest and a refresh and enjoying being in an inversion so that you have that extra blood flow. Think about all the skin on your face, getting a little bit more in the way of oxygen and nutrients and all that good stuff. Think about improving your lymphatic drainage, which will happen once you turn yourself back up the right way again. Close your eyes if you want to. Try very hard to relax all those muscles in your face. Still keeping that length in the spine. And lift away from your wrists. So try not to collapse into your hands, into your wrists, but lift from your sit bones, sending yourself as far away, so your sit bones as far away from your wrists as you can. And then let's look towards the hands and bring yourself into a nice, easy, gentle plank. You may have to adjust the distance between your hands here. Try and bring them directly underneath your shoulders. Take your feet about a foot apart from each other. Now squeeze your thighs, squeeze your glutes, lift the head gently. And let's hold this plank for a little minute before we come into side plank. So Vashisthasana or side plank. Are you ready? Let's go over onto the right side first. Or actually do whichever side you want because we'll do the other one in a minute. So left arm comes up, right arm is down. If your shoulders are complaining today and they don't feel like doing this, sometimes it's easier to come into a low arm plank or a forearm plank. And if this is feeling like you want to challenge yourself, you can lift your top leg off. If balance is a bit off today, take one leg forward and one leg back. So your upper leg goes forward and you can vary that depending on how much extra balance you feel like you need. Okay, let's go over to the other side. So take the left arm down, toes come round. Excuse me, turning my back to you. Right arm goes up, keeping your body in a nice straight line. Open the chest, breathe. And we're going to come into Makara for a moment. So take that right arm down again, back into plank. And then we're going to come to Ashtanga Namaskar, which is knees to the mat, bend your elbows, bring your chest and your chin down, so bottom stays up. And then we just swoop forward, bring your belly to the mat. And everybody's favorite asana, crocodile. Left arm down, right forearm stacked on top of left forearm. And that, my friend, is a pillow for your forehead. So rest your head, close your eyes, and breathe. Try and lengthen through your neck and relax your head. Relax your legs. Relax the whole of your spine. And we're going to do a little bit of a back bend here. So let's send the arms forward. The arms are forward, feet are pointing out behind you, and we're going to come into Locust Shalabasan. So hands come off, arms come off. Squeeze your glutes here, press your hips into the mat and lift your feet off as well. So arms are coming back into the shoulder sockets, shoulders are moving back, down your back, too many backs, back, back, back. And squeeze your thighs. Let's lift up. Can you lift a little higher? Try not to hold your breath. And relax.
Bring yourself into Makara again. This time take the right forearm down at right angles, left forearm stacks on top, and forehead comes to rest on your stacked forearms. A little bit of a bony pillow. Take a breath here. So let's come into Dhanurasana. Or if Dhanurasana or bow pose is not for you for today, then just do another version or another, I can't even remember the word, have another locust. Go for another Shalabasana. So Shalabasana was arms out, feet out, and then lift everything off. Remember to breathe, but using all of the muscles in the back of the body to curl around. This time we're going to use the arms as well. So bend your left leg, bring your arm around, bend your right, and bring your arm around. If you know that this, for whatever reason, knees, digestion, how you're feeling is not for you today, then you can just do one side and then the other, or you're in Shalabasana. And if you're in Shalabasana, don't hold for too long, come down, rest, and then go back in again. If you are in Dhanurasana, lift your head, send the back of your head towards your feet, lift your knees off the mat, and hopefully your thighs will go with them. Belly down, bringing the shoulder blades together, very firm move of those shoulder blades coming towards each other, and then lift your feet away. Lift your chest off the mat. Use your feet to gently pull your arms. So we're stretching the whole of the front of the chest. Beautiful opening there. Neck is long and you're looking forward. Don't forget to breathe. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring yourself down to the mat. Counter posing now. So hands either side of your chest. Bring yourself up into Balasana or child pose. So knees come forward. Bring your torso to rest on your thighs. Forehead down to the mat. Arms are either out extended in front, or if you feel like your shoulders would like a bit of a break, bring them down so that your arms rest alongside your body. And your hands are palms upwards next to your feet. Breathing is a little restricted here, so take your breath. Imagine that you're taking it into the sides of your body. You know that your rib cage expands out to the sides. You're making space all along the sides of your body. But you don't want to rest too much. We've done a little bit of a counter pose. So hands down either side of your mat. Bring yourself up to sitting. And let's come back into downward facing dog. So hands down towards the mat, or even not towards the mat, actually on the mat. Tuck your toes under, send your hips up. Downward facing dog, Ardha Mukha Svanasana. Take your feet where they need to be. Find your alignment. So a little space between your feet so that your hips have got space to be open and wide. Space between your shoulders so we're not jamming up towards the neck. Bringing your chest towards your thighs. And let's take the forearms to the mat. So bring your forearms down. If you need a bend in the knee, take a bend in the knee. So forearms to the mat. Top of the head towards or on the mat.
I think we lost Kate. You're on mute. I'm sure she'll try and come back on.
She is there. You just need to change your view.
Why did I?
You just went on to mute, and I think then Joanna was unmuted, so she just became the instructor.
Joe, you're taking over, my love. Carry on where I left off. Okay, Joe, have you got me? Can you hear me? Yes. Okay. What are you doing? Get back into downward facing dog. Well done. Oh, what beautiful downward facing dogs. Lovely. Lots of beautiful flexibility there. Well done. Don't forget to breathe. Try and make space in your ribs. Well done. Thank you for being adaptable and going with the flow. And we have craziness. Thank you to Zoom. Bring your knees down to the mat. Come into cat and cow. A little bit more work on the spine. Quite often when we are focusing on being strong, we do a lot of amazing work, wake up lots of muscles, and don't necessarily make enough space in the spine. So we're going to go into a cat-cow combination. Take the belly down, take the back of the head up, hips up. I want you to really feel like you're flaring your hips, as if you're trying to get your sit bones to touch the back of your head. Let your belly go absolutely as low as it possibly can. And then let's move in the opposite direction. So a circle, a little curve, taking your chin to your chest now and bringing your hips forward. Squeeze your glutes. Make the whole of the back of your spine as long as it possibly can be, because it's stretching into that C shape. And let's uncurl. So we're going to go at our own pace in a moment, and we're going to work with the breath. And each time we move, so let's move into cat again now, sending your shoulders, your shoulder blades up towards the ceiling, hips tucked in, chin to chest. So as we move into cow, belly to the mat, we breathe in. As we move into cat, we breathe out. So move with your own breath at your own pace. One breath, one movement. So in, when you need to breathe, move your body. And try and slow the breath down. So you slow the movement down to match the speed of your breath, but at the same time, you're trying to control your breath to slow it down and make the movement as slow as possible too. Keep moving that spine. Think about all those lovely bones, having space, churning up everything around them, that spinal fluid flowing around, unblocking any little bits and pieces, any little sticky bits. And each time you move, you probably have that tiniest little bit more movement. Really focus here. This is so important. Your spine is everything. It's what it holds every single thing together. One more round. Make it really, really count. And come back to an easy tabletop position. And from here, take your knees wide. Bring yourself back into Balasana. So toes are touching, big toes are touching. Knees are wide. Bring your body down between your legs. Keep your arms out in front of you. Walk your fingertips away. Feel that opening up under the armpits, a hugely important area, especially for us ladies. Lots of very important lymph activity going on under the arms. And we probably don't shake our arms around enough in the day. So let's stretch, push your chest down towards the mat. Move your elbows and your wrists and your fingertips further away from you. Hopefully you can feel that across your back where your shoulder blades are. And don't forget to breathe. Nice, deep, easy, steady breaths, resting your forehead on the mat, allowing your neck to relax, to be long. Got to come into a little bit more movement here. We need to do a little bit of a twist, and that's one thing we haven't done yet. So let's come back up, push yourself back up to sitting, and let's come into Marichyasana. So right heel comes into left thigh and right foot. Forget that, left foot comes over right knee. If that's feeling a little bit too much, then just bring your foot in front of your knee instead of tucked in behind. One thing that's really important is making sure that both sit bones are on the mat. Left one is going to want to do a little bit of flying, bring it back down, and try and get this knee pointing up towards the ceiling. And let's just put the hands there for a moment and use them to align our chest. So lift your chest, lift your shoulders, long in the spine. Sit bones both still touching the floor, and breathe. Settle into that posture. And we are going to use the arms now to help us twist. So right arm comes around. Hold on to that. Get my right and left horribly mixed up in this asana. So opposite arm, opposite leg. Hang on, pull gently. Take your left arm out and behind. So let's lift up at the same time. Don't forget that this shoulder, the left shoulder, is trying to get behind, or we want it to go behind. So encourage it to move behind you. Turn your head. And don't be shy to use this right arm wherever it feels comfortable to help turn you around a little. Think about what's going on in your spine, right from the base all the way up. So we've got the lumbar spine into the thoracic spine and then up into the cervical spine, right up there into your neck. And when you get to the face, relax your face, but turn your eyes to look as far left as you can. Keep meaning to add more face yoga postures in. By the time I finish with the body, I kind of tend to forget about the face. So I will start adding in some more face yoga. And release your eyes, release your head. Very slowly, release the left arm and the right, and come back to center. Do you feel all open on one side and we're all still closed up on the other side? Let's remedy that. Change the legs. Well, keep your same legs. I'll keep my legs. Change the position of your legs. So sit bones on the mat. That left hip might feel a bit strange and a bit funny. Don't you worry, it'll be fine. Up nice and tall. So let's take both hands to that knee. Make space. Make space in your shoulders. Take them away from each other. One off to the right, one off to the left. Head lifting up. And then this time our left arm gets to go in for the hug. So hug that right knee. Take the right arm. Here, you can hear me going, oh, right. Out. So whatever you did on the other side, do on this side, just the other way around. But when you get as far around as you think you're going to go, think about that shoulder, see if it will move a little further. There you go, a little bit more movement. And when you get as far as you're going to go, remember to lift up to the crown of the head And take your eyes around to the right. It's like you're absolutely determined to see something that's just out of view. Do you have a little more twist in there? Don't forget to breathe. And release your eyes, neck, then shoulders. Let's just uncurl. Send your legs out in front of you. Sit bones on the mat, toes gently drawing back towards your face. Lengthen the spine. Look at all that space you've made. Oh, beautiful. Inhale up. And exhale, fold forward. Now you may or you may not remember how much movement you had right at the beginning. But if you can remember, it's just interesting to note if you have moved things enough to give yourself a little bit more space. And let's breathe here for 3 breaths. So remember, as we breathe in, we allow space in the lungs, we lift away, fill up. And as you breathe out and empty, fold forward a little more. If you want to round, and if you want to be straight backed, go ahead and do that. If you want to do a combination of the two, go ahead and do that too. Last breath. Well done. Gently allow yourself to come back up. Let's go over to the floor now. So back's coming down to the floor. Let's go via a little bit of a rock if that's good for you. So back nice and straight. Hold your knees if you want to, or your thighs. Bring your feet up a little. Just hold here for a moment. And now round your back. So bring your thighs into your chest. And let's rock down and up if that works for you. Otherwise, just gently come down to lying on your mat. 3 rocks. Okay, go on then. 4. I couldn't resist. Take your feet flat to the floor. 1 last twist. Take your arms out in a T shape. And bring your knees into your chest. And let's take the knees over to the right side. Take your gaze over to your left. So looking towards your left hand. And then head back to center, knees back to center, and then straight over to the opposite side. Bring your face. Something to finish up with. And bring your head back to center, bring your knees back to center. Give yourself a big hug. Wrap your arms around your thighs, knees, thighs into the chest. Bring your forehead up to your knees, curl into the smallest little ball. Squeeze, 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 squeeze. And release. Come back down. Bring yourself into Shavasana, your final resting pose. So make space between your legs. Allow your legs to go wherever they want to. If they're comfortable next to each other, take them next to each other. If they would like a little bit more space, let them have a little bit more space. Let your feet flop wherever they want to flop, out or in, and make space. Open up under your arms. Take the palms of your hands to face upwards and stretch. Send that left heel away from you, lengthening that leg. Send the right heel away, lengthen the right leg. Send the right hand away, making that arm as long as it can possibly be, and the same with the left. And now relax. Lift your head,
Move it from side to side. Just make sure that your neck is relaxed. Widen your shoulders. Allow your pelvis to be completely at rest. Close your eyes. Find your comfort here. Be comfortable. If you're not comfortable, move, adjust, wiggle around until you are. If you don't like lying on your back, curl over onto your right. Add some pillows, cushions, wraps, throws, whatever it is you need to make yourself comfortable. We'll only be here for a moment, but it's really important. Well done. Now, as you breathe in, take that breath right down as low as you possibly can. Feel your belly button move. Each breath, as you breathe out, trying to empty every last little bit of breath. As you breathe in through your nostrils. Notice the quality of that air, the temperature, what it feels like. And as you breathe out, notice how it has changed. Maybe the breath leaves you as softer, warmer, gentler. And as you breathe in light and warmth and energy and everything that you need for yourself for today, for now. Don't worry too much about the future. Make sure you're okay now and everything else will be fine. It will all slot into place. Believe that the universe has got your back. Why not? As you breathe out, with each breath, let go. And what are you letting go of? Anything that no longer serves you. If it doesn't serve you a purpose, if it doesn't bring you joy, if it doesn't add to your contentment and your experience here on earth, then let it go. Whatever it is, some things are harder to let go of than others. Some things we've been carrying for a very long time. But why are you carrying the things that you're carrying that you don't want to carry? Very interesting question. So as you breathe in, see if you can let go of something. Maybe it's a judgment that you have about yourself. Maybe it's something that pops into your mind that isn't very positive. Maybe it's time to let it go. And as you breathe in, with that space that you've made in your body, in your mind, in your soul and spirit, fill it up with all good things that you want. They're all out there for you. There is no reason why you can't have what it is that your heart's desire. Breathe in. And as you breathe out, relax, rest, sink into your mat a little further. Find that space, that quiet, that calm that exists deep within you. Keeping your eyes closed now, gently bring yourself to lie on your right side. And just notice how you're feeling. Think about things that worked really well with your body today, things that brought you joy. Maybe it was the sensation, maybe it was the knowledge that you're doing something positive for yourself. Maybe it was just spending time with yourself. And keeping your eyes closed, gently bring yourself up to sitting. Well done for making time for yourself, for prioritizing your well-being and your health and your happiness. Bring your hands to heart center. Gently press your hands together. Your right pressing into your left pressing into your right. Notice what that wakes up. Can you feel it in your shoulder blades? Can you feel it in your upper arms and your forearms? That lovely pressure as your right side connects with your left and your left with your right. And ease. Take your forehead down towards your fingertips. Take a deep breath in. And as you breathe out, gently open your eyes. Keep that steady, strong, sure breath going all day today. And you can take yourself back to that feeling that you created at some point in your practice today where you felt calm, where you felt like you're in the right place, who you're meant to be. Take yourself back to that feeling and that sensation of calm. It's there for you, it's in you. And thank you for joining me today. Thank you for joining you, and namaste. And there we go. I hope you're going to have an amazing day.